Hello, friends. This is Joseph Gabrielson once again. It is my honor and pleasure to be with you. This is my final presentation in a 5-week series on the theme of nature. If you've enjoyed my talks and meditations, let Reverend Laura Hallett know, and maybe I'll be back with you in this way sooner rather than later. If you want to get in touch with me, just ask Reverend Laura Hallett for my contact information, specifically the email. She has that information, and I'm now giving permission for her to give it to anyone who inquires about any of my talks. The specific title for the talk today is Seasons and Cycles. Unlike my other talks, this talk was received very intuitively. I didn't consult as many references, and this is really me trusting the divine, knowing that the perfect and right message for each person listening will come across, even if I don't have a talk outline like I normally would have. So this, even for me, is an exercise in trusting the divine. In my meditation, I was given some qualities, some words to go along with each season and the energy that they have. I'm going to go into each of these words or phrases. But to start with, I'll give you a brief overview of what I received. Winter was compared with the word surrender. Spring was compared with the words joy and gratitude. Summer was compared with the words of divine power and authenticity. And fall was paired with compassion. So I'm going to briefly go into how each of these words relates to the seasons. I trust there will be a nugget of wisdom for each of you. I'll begin with winter. For me, winter is a time of going within, reflecting on all you've accomplished and all that you've learned in the past seasons, and really integrating that into your body and into your life so that you can use it to empower yourself and others. The energy of winter is very dark. Instead of being afraid of this darkness or trying to step out of this darkness, I prefer to see the darkness of winter as a time of deep contemplation, healing, and integration. The word surrender came up to be paired with this season because it requires you to surrender your idea of what is good and bad, what you did well, what you did less than well, just to surrender all of that and realize that everything you've been through and accomplished is for your highest good and was the right and perfect outcome, even if you can't see that right now. Secondly, the words that were paired with spring were joy and gratitude. It is my belief that joy and gratitude are intimately connected. So, having more gratitude makes room and opens you to experiencing more joy. And experiencing more joy gives you even more to be grateful for. So I believe that these two qualities are very synergistic. They kind of are attached, for lack of better wording, meaning that they really influence each other. Something interesting that I learned about joy from Brene Brown's most recent book called Atlas of the Heart. And in Atlas of the Heart, she expresses that through her research and life experience, she finds that although joy is a pleasant sensation, a pleasant word, a pleasant experience, many people can be actually quite afraid of it. And this is because they are just kind of waiting for the other shoe to drop. And also because in order to step into pure spiritual joy, you have to become vulnerable. And that's not an easy thing at times. What do I mean by waiting for the other shoe to drop? I mean, many people, when they experience a moment of joy, the thought right after it is, something's going to happen to negate this moment of joy. If I'm feeling joy with no attachment to outcome, it feels so foreign that sometimes I just go right into thinking about how this could be ruined at any moment. So if you are not comfortable in joy, then the joy becomes foreboding because you're always waiting for something to happen to ruin the joy because you have this belief, this feeling that the joy will not last. So I think that this was very interesting when I read it in Brene's book. So I wanted to share that with you. Also, the more you practice gratitude, the easier it will be for you to remain in that vulnerable moment of joy. The other thing I wanted to share is that joy and happiness are connected and similar, but very different as well, because joy tendency is to have it rise up within you. It comes from within and rises up to be expressed. Whereas happiness is more dependent on outside circumstances. This is only my opinion after many years of learning, but I also have heard many Buddhist teachers refer to this. The difference between happiness and joy being joy is an inner state that doesn't rely so much on circumstance. And happiness is something that is very connected to circumstance. If I get this new job, I will be happy. If I have my first child, I will be happy. But joy rises up within when you continually focus on gratitude and you become comfortable with being in the present moment, comfortable with being with yourself, being with your inner world. You will be open to more joy. The summer was paired with divine power and authenticity. My meditation revealed to me that what I was to speak about in terms of divine power and authenticity is that the summer is connected to these words because this is the time after you've had the winter hibernation and the blossoming of the new in the winter and in the spring. This is a month to focus on stepping into your divine power and expressing your true self rather than the self that others around you, society, or the government would want you to be. So the summer months are all about self-expression of your personal power in a healthy and divine way. Aligning your will with the highest good of your soul. When your will is aligned with the highest good of your soul, then you will affect others positively, and they will be inspired by you simply because of the fact that you're standing in your power and shining your light. This is also a time to work on being more comfortable speaking your truth. Once you're in your bed of personal power, or you have your divine connection, then you can express your truth authentically. Fall is about harvesting, reaping the rewards of what you've accomplished and learned earlier in the year. Fall was paired with compassion. I have a beautiful quote on compassion from Brene Brown, which I would like to read for you. And it reads, "Compassion practice is daring. It involves learning to relax and allowing ourselves to move gently toward what scares us. In cultivating compassion, we draw from the wholeness of our experience, our suffering, our empathy, as well as our cruelty and terror. It has to be that way. Compassion is not a relationship between the healer and the wounded. It is a relationship between equals. Only when we know our own darkness can we be present with the darkness of others. Compassion becomes real when we recognize our shared humanity." Brene Brown. And also, the idea came to me for a definition of compassion, also inspired by Brene Brown's work, and that is that compassion is love plus mindfulness plus embracing our shared or common humanity. So that is an easy way for me to really zero in on what compassion actually is. Another important aspect of compassion is it usually involves an urge to reach out to others, to help in a tangible way, whereas joy and happiness can be very much internal experiences. Compassion can be a more outward experience. Fall is also about releasing the old, the death of the old, so that in the spring, the new can be birthed. So compassion is very important when you're dealing with death or endings in your life, whether it be the physical death of someone or whether it be a devastating loss other than a death of a human being. The loss of your job, the loss of your home, the loss of your pet. Those little things can also add up and contribute very much to your sense of well-being and give you a feeling of grief at many times. So self-compassion is just as important as compassion for others. So in the fall, it's a good time to take stock of everything you've accomplished and to release what is no longer needed so that you can make room for the new. Moving on to spring, I also have a quote that I want to share with you around spring, and that is from Pierre Chardin, and it is, "Joy is the infallible sign of the presence of God. Short and sweet and simple, but yet powerful. Spring is the season to plant seeds of new ideas, of tuning into your heart and asking yourself, what brings me great joy and how can I do this and also serve humanity at the same time?" One of my mentors once told me, the purpose of your life is to find out what brings you the most joy, the most unconditional love, and share that thing with everyone. So spring is a wonderful time to journal and ask yourself questions about what is on my heart to create, what is on my heart to express, what do I need to nurture and grow in my life. These are just some things that the season of spring invites us to contemplate. Summer is about stepping into your divine power and celebrating the growth from the seeds you have planted. For me, the sun very well represents the divine power. It can light and heat the whole world, and without it, the ecosystem of the planet would completely shift, and it would be much more difficult to maintain human life. So the sun impacts everything from how the food grows to how it doesn't grow. What are you growing in your life? What can you celebrate? Are you able to stand in your power as a divine godling? Is there something in the way of you standing in your power, whether it be negative self-talk, whether it be input from family and friends that you don't necessarily like, whether it be your upbringing? What is it that stops you from living in your divine power? And what is one thing that you can do to help you step in to your divine power? So I appreciate you taking the time to listen. And this talk was quite different from my usual talks, as it was very intuitive, and it wasn't necessarily based on a lot of research, but it felt very right to me and really kind of lines up with things I've learned before, messages I've received from the divine before. So I will lead you now in a closing meditation. I invite you to take a deep breath. This meditation will be about autumn and compassion, since that is the season that we're going into right now. September sort of marks the unofficial start to fall, when all the children go back to school and all the leaves change and it becomes a colorful tapestry outside. So I'm going to lead a meditation around fall. Hope you enjoy. I invite you to connect deeply with your heart. Once you have connected with your heart, I invite you to imagine that there is a stream of golden light energy flowing into your body through your head, filling up your heart completely and overflowing out into the rest of your body, as well as out into your aura. This is the energy of divine inspiration, of divine revelation, of divine love. this is also where the frequency and feeling of compassion lies. So I invite you to feel this golden energy deeply within your body for a few moments. In this fall season, imagine that there is tree roots coming out of your feet and connecting with the core of Mother Earth, and then circling back and anchoring on your root chakra or the perineal area. So now you have divine inspiration flowing into you, and your roots are connecting you deeply to Mother Earth and anchoring you to the energy of this planet. I invite you to feel for a moment this twofold connection of divine openness and grounded presence. In this grounded, inspired, awakened presence, I invite you to connect directly with your higher self through the setting of an intention in your own way, in your own words. And ask your higher self, the following questions. What do I need to harvest and celebrate this fall? What do I need to harvest and celebrate this fall? What do I need to let go of in order to take my next step forward? What do I need to release? What in my life has come to an end? The next question is, how can I be more compassionate with others? And the final question is, how can I be more compassionate with myself? So for this meditation around fall, I'll repeat the questions one last time, and if you still need to hear them again after that, you can always pause, rewind, and replay. The questions were, what do I need to harvest and celebrate in my life? What do I need to let go of? What is ending in my life so that I can create a new beginning? How can I be more compassionate with myself? And how can I be more compassionate with others? I invite you now to put down your pen and paper if you are writing anything, and bring yourself back to this time and space, listening to my voice in this video. You may want to wiggle your fingers and toes or move your body in some way to help get your soul energy back grounded in body. It has been my pleasure and honor to work with you in this past month. Look forward to seeing you again. Bye for now. Until then, namaste.
Here at Center for Spiritual Living Greater Las Vegas, we are a mission and vision-driven community. We offer transformative educational opportunities, deep and meaningful moments of connection, uplifting Wednesday and Sunday services. We greatly appreciate your contributions that support the amazing work we're doing here in Southern Nevada. We have several easy ways you can contribute. We have text to give. Simply text the amount of your donation to our text to give number, and you'll be prompted to enter your information. There's a link to our online donation page posted below this video where you can contribute by debit or credit card. And of course, you're always welcome to send a check to our office if that works better for you. All of your contributions go to support the great work that we're doing here in Greater Las Vegas community.
You will do amazing things with the choice each new day brings, and with every step you take, bless the progress that you make. The reason you live is found in every gift you give. Love your life and love your dreams. You will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing. You will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing. You will do amazing things. Oh, the places you will go, and the people you will know. Don't worry when or where or how. You don't have to know that now. You're on the right track. No need to look ahead. ahead or back. Just enjoy what this day brings. You will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing. You will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing. You will do amazing things. You don't have to work it out. Just stay in the here and now. Let your mind rest for a little while. Sometimes deepest answers come when you're out there having fun. So close your eyes and take a breath and smile. Amazing, amazing. You will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing. You will do amazing things.
The monthly publication, Science of Mind magazine, is a treasure to be read and contemplated. Along with in-depth articles, there is a day-to-day spiritual support to be gleaned from its daily guides. Licensed practitioner Lynn Frankenberger hosts Adventures in Faith every Tuesday at 11 a.m. on Zoom, and you're invited to join in. This is a weekly group discussion that focuses on those daily guides and how to apply them. Check Facebook and our weekly newsletter for more details. CSL Greater Las Vegas brings you much of your favorite spiritual music every Friday at 7 p.m. with spiritual soundscapes. Enjoy performances from CSLGLV vocalists along with special guest singers. It's music for your soul. Subscribe to the CSLGLV YouTube channel to get a convenient link sent to you for each musical performance. At CSL Greater Las Vegas, it is our mission to inspire spiritual discovery through community connection, exploration, and celebration. This mission supports the all-inclusive vision of Centers for Spiritual Living worldwide, in which we envision a world that works for everyone and all of creation.